Good day, everyone. Today we are excited to share our research findings about overview of bioethics and some bioethical issues. Let's proceed with the content. Overview of bioethics. Bioethics is the study of ethical dilemmas that arise in biological fields. While it has a strong emphasis on healthcare, it has also expanded to incorporate environmental concerns.
First concern is Harvard definition of brain death 1968. In August 1968, a committee at Harvard Medical School published a landmark document titled A Definition of Irreversible Coma. In addition to the traditional way of defining death, in terms of the loss of cardiorespiratory function, the committee proposed a new definition of death, brain death, that confused on the loss of neurological function. The idea of brain death was first articulated in the seminal publication, A Definition of Irreversible Coma, in 1968. While brain death is largely regarded as a cause of death across the world, many of the disputes surrounding it have yet to be solved. Some may be based on a misunderstanding of the history of brain death. Several parallel developments in the second half of the 20th century, including advances in resuscitation and critical care, research into the underlying physiology of consciousness, and growing concerns about technology, medical futility, and the ethics of end-of-life care led to the development of the concept. Next is the case of Roe v. Wade, 1973. Roe v. Wade, a legal case in which the United States on January 22, 1973, the Supreme Court held a 7-2 that overly restrictive state regulation of abortion in unconstitutional. The court held that a set of Texas statutes criminalizing abortion in the most cases violated a constitutional right to privacy, which it found to be implicit in the liberty guarantee of the 14th Amendment due to process clause, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. In 2022, the Supreme Court reversed Roe v. Wade in the case began in 1970, when Jane Roe faked a name used to conceal the identity of the plaintiff Norma McCorvey, 1947 to 2017, filed a federal lawsuit against Henry Wade, the district attorney of Dallas County, Texas, where Roe resided. The Supreme Court rejected Roe's asserted of the absolute right to terminate pregnancy by any manner and any time. Instead, it sought to strike a balance between what it saw as a fundamental right to privacy and the state's compelling interest in protecting pregnant women, health, and the potential of human life. To that end, the court devised a timetable based on the concept of trimester and fetal viability, the capability of meaningful life outside the mother's womb. Under normal circumstances, the state could not intervene in a person's decision to have an abortion during first trimester of pregnancy. The court held during the second trimester, the state may control abortion operations to safeguard pregnant women's health, but it could not outright prohibit abortions. The state limit or prohibit abortions beginning at the end of the second trimester, which the court designated as the starting point of viability. In order to safeguard the pregnant person's health or to maintain fetal viability, however, the state could never prohibit abortion that were required to save the pregnant woman's life or health.
The case of Karen and Kinlan, 1975. In loving memory of their daughter Julia and Joseph Kinlan, established Karen Ann Kinlan in 1980. The personal link between the organization and the community has been the foundation of its growth and development. The Kinlan family became aware of the need for end-of-life care for parents as a result of their historic choice in court battle for their daughters' right to live without the need for extraordinary life support. The Karen and Kinlan, which currently provides care to patients and their families through NJNPA, was founded as a result of this understanding. The case of Baby Doe, 1982. The case of Baby Doe refers to a historical and tragic situation involving a newborn girl in the United States. In the 1980s, the baby, whose real name was unknown and was referred as Baby Doe, was born with several disabilities. Her parents chose not to provide surgical intervention to correct the condition, sparking a national debate about parents' rights, medical ethics, and the treatment of disabled infants. The case led to discussion on the rights of disabled individuals and the responsibilities of parents and medical professionals in such circumstances. Okay, naka-record.
Ano to, naka-record lang? The case of Baby Gabrielle. Baby Gabrielle was declared brain dead on October 14, 1987. Her body is still attached to the respirator. Her body was flown to Loma Linda University Center for studies in Loma Linda, California. On October 16, her heart was transplanted into a baby, Paul Hulk named, who had been delivered that day by cesarean section to receive the transplant. She was a hero. The next case is about the baby Gummy. This is the case of two Australian couple who looked for a surrogate mother in Thailand. The issue was the couple left the country with the normal baby while they left the other one who had Down syndrome. The court shows that the couple did not left the baby. They were told by the embassy to leave the country sooner, and the surrogate mother fell in love with the baby and kept the one who was Down syndrome.
Baby gender selection. The study explores the moral implication of newborn gender selection, focusing on its historical backgrounds, technological advancement, and socio-cultural factors. It addresses concerns about justice, autonomy, and potential societal and personal effects. The paper also discussed the regulatory environment and the need for the standards to ensure responsible practices in newborn gender selection. This study adds to the current bioethics discussion by addressing the moral implication of baby gender selection, raising awareness and encouraging ethical use of reproductive technologies. The background of the study overview of the historical and cultural perspective on gender selection, gender preference investigation in the factors of influencing parental preference were specific, and the debated topic of abortion encompasses politics, ethics, morality, and religion, focusing on the beginning of life, unborn rights, pregnant women autonomy, and government influence on their reproductive choices. Pro-life perspective advocates for the rights of the fetus, often referred to as pro-life proponents. Health of the mother, medical issues affecting the health or life of the pregnant woman can be critical factors in the abortion debate. Public opinion on abortion varies across the cultures, faith, people, and necessitating respectful and knowledgeable discussion to consider diverse perspective. It is critical to take into account the various points of views and have courteous, knowledgeable conversation.
Assisted reproduction. In the realm of bioethics, assisted reproduction involves ethical considerations surrounding medical intervention aimed at aiding individuals or couple in conceiving when natural method prove challenging. Cloning. Cloning in bioethical issues involve creating genetically identical organism typically through asexual reproduction or genetic engineering. Ethical concerns arise due to potential misissue, ethical treatment of cloned individual, and the moral implication of manipulating life at a genetic level.
Organ transplantation is among the 20th century's greatest medical advances. These days, a lot of organs that are sick are being replaced with healthy organs from cadavers, live donors, and animal sources. There have been successful transplants of bone marrow, kidney, liver, cornea, pancreas, heart, and nerve cells. The only factors limiting the incidence are the organ's cost and availability. So the only problem that the organ transplantation has are the availability and the organ's cost because some of the patients cannot afford the organs. The late 1970s saw the development of the potent immunosuppressive medications which significantly raised the success rate of organ transplants and made organ transplantation a common practice in medicine in the 21st century. Let's proceed with the genetic medical procedure. Hereditary testing searches for changes once in a while called transformations or variations in your DNA. Medical care you or a member of your family receives can be altered by genetic testing, which is useful in numerous medical fields. For instance, genetic testing can provide information about your risk of developing cancer or diagnosis for genetic condition like the Fragile X. There are various sorts of hereditary tests. Hereditary tests are finished utilizing a blood or spit test, and results are typically prepared in a half a month. If you are found to have a genetic change, your family members may also have the same change because we share DNA with them. Before and after the genetic testing, genetic counseling can help ensure that you understand your results, that you are getting the right genetic test, and that you are the right person in your family to have one.
Healthcare resource allocation involves distributing financial, human, and technological resources to meet population needs. Key aspects include budgeting, workforce planning, technology allocation, prioritizing services, supporting public health programs, addressing ethical considerations, and using data for decision making. Balancing individuals' needs with population health is crucial for efficient and effective resource usage in healthcare management. Euthanasia. Euthanasia involves ending a person's life without their explicit request. Often due to incapacity, non-voluntarily euthanasia occurs when consent is unavailable, and others make the decision. Ethical, moral, religious, and legal perspective on euthanasia vary globally. Advocates emphasize dignity and relief from suffering, while opponents raise concern about the sanctity of life. Legal stances on euthanasia differ, with some places permitting it, like the Netherlands and Belgium, while others strictly prohibit it. The topic remains a complex issue for lawmakers, ethicists, and the medical community.
Brain death and persistent vegetative state. Brain death is the irreversible cessation of all cerebral and brainstem activities, indicating complete loss of brain function and legal death. And persistent vegetative is a condition where individuals are wakeful but lack awareness due to severe brain damage with minimal chance of recovery, differing from brain death as some basic bodily functions may persist. And truth-telling and informed consent. Truth-telling involves conveying accurate and honest information, fostering trust and integrity in communication. Informed consent is the voluntary agreement to a
propose action or treatment based on a clear understanding of relevant facts, risks, benefits, and alternatives, ensuring individuals can make well-informed decisions about their medical care or participation in research.
Confidentiality. Sensitive data gathered for studies must be kept private in order to reduce the possibility of harm or accidental disclosure. The oversight and approval of research protocols by Institutional Review Board or IRB is crucial in maintaining ethical standards, which include confidentiality measures. Anonymization and safe data storage are commonly used by researchers to protect participant privacy and follow ethical standards. Lastly, the use of humans in research. Since the early times, the use of humans has been generally recognized as beneficial in the advancement of our society in terms of discovering new drugs for existing disease and in carrying out medical procedures that are meant to further the study of human body and how humans think and act. However, there are also ethical issues that arise from the use of humans in research. Research subjects are also inevitably exposed to risks that can be determined to their well-being. For this reason, the use of humans in research has become heavily regulated in order to protect the rights and dignity of the other people, the people that being used as research subjects. Ethical principles are encouraged to be upheld in order to prevent inhuman experiments, the testing of new drugs, medical procedures, and other kinds of treatment on humans is necessary in order to ensure the safety and efficacy of novel treatment, but it should always entail respect for persons, beneficence, and justice, which are the three basic ethical principles in the use of human in research.
This is all our reference, our sources. And this is all the members that participated from the group. That's all po. Thank you.